Shalom, all praises and glory go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rachakudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar, Apostle Ramlab, and the Shalom to all the sincere Achim that are pushing this word and sincerity and the truth in the four corners of the earth. Before I continue, I want to say that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the children of Israel that the Bible speaks about, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the chosen people of the Heavenly Father. And the people that live in the land of Israel today, they go back to the Khazarians, which go back to the biblical Amalekites, which are not the children of Israel, but the children of Esau, Edom, the head tribe of the nation of Esau, Edom. And the people that call themselves white, European, Caucasian, Australian, or American, they also go back to the nation of Esau, Edom. With that being said, these videos are made to wake up our people, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to lead them back to the Heavenly Father, to their heritage, because prophecies and destruction is coming to pass. All right. Now, I wanted to make a video, but now I see there's a bunch, as Apostle Tahar made a video on all eyes are on Israel or something like that, Amalek, something like that, and I see the same thing happening over here. If you look at Iranian news, you see over here, if you click on the Europe part of Europe, because you have world, you have Asia, you have Africa, stuff like that. If you click at Europe, it says U.S. suspends arms deliveries to Estonia as war on Iran draining U.S. arsenal. And of course, the United States is doing the heavy lifting for Israel to basically fight Iran. So, of course, how do you say that? Ukraine is not really, it seems like Ukraine is not really a priority anymore, So over here you see the arms deliveries are being suspended, It says U.S. suspends arms deliveries to Estonia as war on Iran draining U.S. arsenal. So, I believe they used to send their arsenals there for the war against Russia, with Ukraine, So over here you see that. But they're already building up a lot of stuff on the border, so it already shows you what they're planning. They want to fight against Russia, and that's it. The Most High put that in their spirit, man. It's not a normal thing to keep continuing on war, but that's how they make money, off of the destruction of people, man. That's what they do, Then again, over here, Lufthansa to cancel 20,000 flights amid fuel crisis in EU triggered by war on Iran. By who? By Amalek. Russia slams Netanyahu's disrespectful Holocaust remarks, defends Iran. Then again, meanwhile, Putin is probably an Amalekite himself, man. I saw pictures of him with the yarmulke on, so we don't know, man, what's happening, They say Russia gave the coordinates to strike the Ayatollah. These type of things, be happening. We don't know what happened. And what we do know is that they all against us. So we ain't supposed to, we're just reporting the news. What we do know is they all against us. They're not our friends, man. Just because they fighting against Amalek don't mean that they against us. That they are our friends, man. Just because Iran fighting against Amalek doesn't mean that Iranians are our friends, man. You see, all these nations are against us, man. Iran in a lower degree, because they're Elam, but they're also not our buddies or something, So everyone outside of us, including the people that don't believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, are our enemies. Even our own people are our enemies, man. You see. Then again, look at this one: Spain, Slovenia, Ireland push EU to debate Israel pact suspension. You see, and this is Europe. Spain, Slovenia, and Ireland. I believe Northern Ireland is not part of Europe, but the rest of it is, right? Then you have 40 Israeli settlers detained at Moscow airport over links to aggression against Iran report. Then again, UN experts urge EU to suspend Israel trade deal over human rights atrocities. Then again, Hungary's newly elected PM says would carry out ICC warrant against Netanyahu. Another one. U.S.-Israeli aggression against Iran threatens nuclear non-proliferation regime. Russian diplomat. You see that? Russia calls U.S. again. Another one. Russia calls U.S. naval blockade of Iran unlawful. Urges continued talks. But U.S. is interchangeable with Israel. You could say, man. You know. Spain. Another one. Spain slams Israel for applying Gaza genocidal strategy in Lebanon. You see that? So it's all about Amalek, man. Amalek. And let's look up the, Amalek, all right? What will Google say about Amalek? Amalek is a figure and nation in the Hebrew Bible described as the arch enemy of the Israelites as descendants of Esau's grandson. They were nomadic, desert-dwelling adversaries who launched unprovoked attacks. That's their character. Unprovoked attacks on the vulnerable rear of the Israelite camp after the Exodus, representing a lasting symbolic enemy of the power of and Israel. Okay, biblical narrative. Key aspects of Amalek. Biblical narrative: Amalek was the son of Eliphaz and grandson of Esau, making them distant relatives of the Israelites. They inhabited the Negev desert and areas south of Canaan. The attack. They attacked the tired, weary Israelites at Rephidim after the exodus from Egypt, prompting a divine curse and a command to blot out the memory of Amalek. You know? Symbolic meaning in Jewish tradition, Amalek is more than a historical nation. It is the archetype of senseless, irrational hate and an existential enemy that seeks to destroy the Jewish people. History. Absence. While the Bible details multiple conflicts with Moses, Saul, and David, they are not mentioned in any historical sources outside the Bible, and there is no archaeological evidence of their existence. But yeah, that's controlled by Amalek as well. For putting that out there that, you know, there's no proof about them. Meanwhile, there are books written on them, like the 13th tribe, chosen people from the Caucasus, the international Jew, you know, the giant with feet of clay. You see, these are all books that document who Amalek is. Then who is Esau? You know, books like that. You know. In modern rhetoric, Amalek is sometimes used to describe entities perceived as existential, irrational threats to Israel. While historical, the legacy of Amalek is often invoked to remind people to act with compassion and fear of the Most High, as opposed to the callous cruelty attributed to Amalekites. You see? So yeah. Then let's see what else we have. Amalek was a nation described in the Hebrew Bible as a staunch enemy of the Israelites. The name Amalek can refer to the nation's founder, a grandson of Esau, his descendants, the Amalekites, or the territories of Amalek which they inhabited. Okay? Where is Amalek in the Bible? Then I believe Genesis 36, who finally defeated the Amalekites. Genesis 36, you see? So, yeah. Okay, let's go to the scriptures back. You know, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Remember that, right? You remember that? Because that's a prophecy, man. You know, don't forget that. That's Bible prophecy. Genesis 36. All right, and yeah, let's read it, man. Now these are the generations of Esau, was Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth, and Ada bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemath bare Reuel, and Aholibamah bare Jeush, and Yaalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives and his wives. So that's allowed, according to the scriptures. He's allowed to have multiple wives. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zebulun, the Bashemath, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter. You see that? And Ada, Yeah, and other beer, that's the one he already had, I believe, right? So he already had two wives, and Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all the substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together. You see, so he was a rich man because he was a seed of Isaac, which was the seed of, Abraham. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom, you see. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashemat, the wife of Esau. All right, this is Ishmael's daughter, right? And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, right? Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. Okay, and she bare Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. Eliphaz, all right. And these are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, and Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Bashemat, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Aholibamah. So you already see who Amalek is, right? What did Amalek do? I'm going to show you what Amalek did, man. So over there you see who Amalek is. They had unprovoked attacks, man. Okay, so over here, read this. Let's read this. This is Exodus 17 and 7. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" You see? Yeah, exactly. And then probably the Most High probably raised Amalek up to kill a bunch of them that they didn't have faith. So, they have their purpose, but they still gonna pay because for them it was unprovoked. Okay, so it says over here, then came Amalek and fought. Let me read a little bit more up. It says over here, let me read the whole thing. Exodus 17 and 1. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, "Give us water that we may drink." And Moses said unto them, "Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord?" And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses, and said, "Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us, and our children, and our cattle with thirst?" Right? And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, "What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me." And the Lord said unto Moses, "Go on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, and the people may drink." And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. This was unprovoked, man. And Moses said unto Joshua, "Choose us out men, and go out fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in mine hand." So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. So Joshua was already killing people, He was already leading men into battle. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yehovah Nissi. So, hey, listen, that's also what you see, that if you unprovokedly attack someone, it's the Most High counts that very heavy, man, on you. You're gonna pay dearly for that, and that's what Esau keeps doing, on and on and on, all in the name of Amalek. But meanwhile, you're participating in it, so you're gonna pay too. That's why America's gonna be completely destroyed, man. You know, for he said, because the Lord had sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And there you have it. This is Exodus 17 and 15. I'm going to look up that word right there. Exodus 17 and then in 15, right? Look that up. Yahweh Nasai. Okay, Yahweh is my banner, you know, yeah. You see, so yeah. But yeah, the least of the flock shall draw him out, man. That's a fact. Jeremiah 50, it was right, I believe. So America is basically Amalek's lapdog, man. They do whatever they want to, you see. This is Jeremiah 15:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So with that, I'm going to say all praises and glory go to the Most High Yahweh Shem Yashai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and all the Achim in the four corners of the earth, pushing out this truth day to day. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.